you a yoga instructor or meditation instructor? If so, this clip's for you. My name is Maria and I'm with Prapati Props, and what I'd like to share with you is what I've learned about the seated meditation pose and how to support your students so that they can find ease in easy pose. It may not be easy for some. Hopefully what I have to offer you will be able to offer them, and they will be able to find much more ease so that the focus is on the instructions and not the bodily sensations that are distracting them. Okay, so how do you make an assessment? First of all, let me point out that I have made a video clip on how to make this assessment. Each individual can do it at home through the use of books and magazines, and just stacking them just slightly higher than they think they need to be, and then moving themselves closer and closer to the earth until they find that space in which the body just releases and relaxes to the earth. The mission is to get the legs to rest against the earth comfortably so the spine can move into a neutral, relaxed position. Okay, so to make the assessment, you're going to ask your student to sit in front of you and have them place one foot up close to the pelvic floor and the other one right in front of that foot. You don't want to have them stack the feet, placing the heel underneath the front shin, because that'll influence your assessment. You want to make sure that the legs are placed one in front of the other so that you can assess the open or tightness of their hips as well as the lower back. Once I take a quick assessment of how high up their legs are away from the earth, where their hips are in relationship to their spine, because if the hips are rotating back, that tells me that either the hips are tight or the lower back is tight. I check in with the heart and I look at the head of the arm bone to see if it's rotating forward to help try and balance the gravity that's sending them back. So once you've done that, turn them to the side, and I'm going to remove the cushion that I'm sitting on and turn to the side so you can see what I'm talking about. What you want to take a look at is from their lowest, where the tailbone is, up through the sacrum and all the way through the length of the spine to see that the sacrum is moving up and in and that the spine is in a neutral, relaxed position. I also recommend taking your fingers and starting at the base of the spine. Of course, ask for permission first. I say, may I run my fingers up your spine to make an assessment? And of course, most people say yes. And I place my fingers right at the sacrum and I move them very slowly up the vertebrae to kind of check and see more with my hands what the movement of their spine looks like. A good healthy spine will move up and in and then up the length. And if you do this enough times, it's incredible that you'll be able to find an area with the spine where they might just be out. So again, the more you do this, the more familiar you become with the spine. So I recommend that even if it feels silly at first, that you go ahead and give it a try and see if your hand tells you a little bit of information that your eyes missed. Okay, so then have them turn back in front of you, and you want to lift the pelvic floor high enough to get your students' legs moving down towards the earth so that their spine is not shifting forward or leaning back. You want to get your student in the most relaxed, upright position. So to do so, it means moving the pelvic floor up in a leveled fashion, just to the right height for their body so that they can allow themselves to move gently towards the earth. Now remember, you've got your students in this pose for 5 minutes before class. That's a pose, just as important as holding downward dog. You're holding easy pose, and if your students are sitting like this, they're not fully supported, and that could lend to further tightening in their hips, which they're coming to your class to actually help to open. So it's helpful to you to help your students as they come into class, and I recommend my students come in early. I'm here 15 minutes before class. Let me help you sit comfortably in easy pose so that you can begin your class in the most optimally, most fully supported way so that we can begin to really open those hips. So whether your student is, again, 5 minutes before your class or they're going into a long retreat, they're going to come to you for support. So hopefully this video clip will help you, and I hope that you'll use all of the video clips that I have generated as a resource. I go into what to do if you have a student who has one open hip, one tight hip, what to do if your student is holding on for dear life and their hips are tight and or their back is tight. I've offered methods of wrapping the legs with the blanket. I also offer information on how important it is that the base that they sit on be properly selected, how important it is for it to be comfortable and stable without being too soft, and what basically effects will happen if the underpad is too soft. So I hope you'll take a little bit of time and go through the series of clips that I have generated, because that's a compilation of all the knowledge that I've acquired over the last 13 years. I hope that you have enjoyed this clip. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me personally at support@prapatiprops.com. Thanks, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.